Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Mock Madness Round 2. This is a update from Sunday's games. Just before that, a quick shout out to Mike Paggio for, again, another suggestion of Black Sabbath 1980 album, Heaven and Hell, with Ronnie James Dio doing the vocals. Keep the suggestions coming. Our sponsor today is Pepto Bismol. When your tummy feels upset, or you just think there's going to be an upset. And we go right to the South region, where they begin with the Pepto-Bismol upset of the day. The Michigan Wolverines came back from 7 points to defeat the number 1 Baylor Bears, 70-69. Isaiah Livers led all scorers with 19. Big man John Teskey added 15. Baylor missed 8 free throws down the stretch in this one. Michigan advances to their 4th consecutive final Sweet 16. This region had probably the best game since 2008. South region that was in Houston there about 12 years ago. Round 2, Memphis beat Mississippi State 77-64. Michigan beat Pitt 65-54. Stanford beat Marquette 82-81. And Texas hit a buzzer beater to defeat Miami in that one. This one was close as well. The second game was the Oregon Ducks taking on Bob Huggins' West Virginia Mountaineers. Oregon led by 1.5. Mountaineers took the lead with 2 minutes left when the Ducks' Peyton Pritchard took over. He had Oregon's last 9 points to eke out a 67-66 victory over the Mountaineers from West Virginia. In another close one, Arizona came back from 12 down to actually lead with 47 seconds left versus FSU. The Seminole Guards hit back-to-back three-pointers with 9 seconds left to give Florida State a 73-71 lead. The Wildcats got a shot up with 2 seconds, but it falls short. M.J. Walker led the Florida State with 21 points. We go to the last game of the region. In this last game, it's the Louisville Cardinals taking on the Big Ten's Penn State Nittany Lions. The Cardinals had an 8-point lead late in the second half when they went scoreless the last 3:34 to allow the Nittany Lions to advance to their first Sweet 16 appearance since 2001 when Joe Crispin led the team. Crispin is now an ESPN analyst. I'll let you catch your breath for a second before we go to the next region here. The West region is sponsored by Nestle Pure Life Water, when you just have to hydrate. If you thought the South region was crazy, wait till you hear about the West. In the last region to advance to the Sweet 16, we start off the Mock Madness with the number 1 seed, Gonzaga. Gonzaga will also not go on, as Baylor did earlier. They're upset by the LSU Tigers, and I will wear a Tigers hat for that. Again, the Pepto-Bismol upset of the day. When you feel that upset, the guards from LSU were just too much for the Zags. Mays led LSU with 23 points. Gonzaga guards were combined 2 for 19 from three-point territory. Zags made a 3 with 2 seconds, but it came up short, 77-76. Just a little plug-in for LSU. Probably the best 3 players ever played at LSU was Chris Jackson, followed up by the great Shaquille O'Neal, and probably maybe the best college player of all time, Pistol Pete Maravich, who led LSU back in the 70s. Hard to believe, Pistol Pete Maravich averaged 44 points a game for his college career. And if there had been a three-point line, it would have been 50, 51, or 52 points, say some of the sports analysts who watch some of those games. All right, so that's our first upset. The second team comes from last year's Final Four, the Auburn Tigers, and they're taking on the Pirates from Seton Hall. Auburn led by 9 at halftime. The Miles Powell-led Pirates cut it to 1 with 2 minutes left, only to lose 75-72. Javon McCormick had 17, while Samir Dowdy had 15. The next game was probably the best game of the day. Number 2 seed San Diego State took on the Bearcats from Cincinnati. Both teams, known for their outstanding defense, had a pretty good shooting games by both teams. John Brandon, first-year coach for Cincinnati, mixed up his defense from man-to-man and zone. Trevon Scott and Jaron Cumberland each had 18 points. San Diego State had the ball and the lead with 36 seconds left and failed to get a shot up. Bearcats had the ball with 6 seconds left, and Keith Williams hit a floater in the lane to win 67-66. Bearcats advanced to the Sweet 16. In our last game of the day, the last game of the night had Maryland taking on UCLA and former Cincinnati coach Mick Cronin. Maryland was in control for most of the game. The Terrapins hit 8 straight free throws to seal the deal, 72-65. Cowan led all scorers with 22. That is it for round 2. We will see you next Friday for the Thursday results of the Sweet 16 matchups. Before I sign off, I'd like to give out the pool standings after round 2 of Mock Madness. Sitting in 4th is Richard Campbell with 60 points. Sitting 3rd, Dustin Shirley with 62 points. Sitting 2nd in the first round leader, Brett Matthews is 2nd now with 66 points. And Bo Douglas had a monster second round. He leads with 93 points. He's going to be very hard to catch in the next couple of rounds. Bringing up the rear is no longer little Mickey Jackson, but his mentor, Mick Jackson Sr., with a disastrous 39 points. Hopefully Mick can get it on track the rest of the way. Anyways, that's me signing off, and we'll see you next Friday.